All right, guys. So here we are. Let me give you a little backstory on what's going on here. Let me pause it for a minute. So a little backstory. I got loaded up Friday night. Got the kayak loaded up, everything loaded up, ready to go. We were heading up the road, and I got there, and we unloaded, and we were getting in the water. Now, the last thing I do before I get in the kayak, I put my PFD on. So I went to the truck, get my PFD out, my personal flotation device, and guess what? It wasn't there. No, it wasn't there. It's hanging up in the garage right where I left it. So we got to have a plan B. So plan B, this is what you're watching now. Plan B is going down, and this is the first place I go to when I'm fishing around docks. This is a great area. Got rocks right down below you. The sheep's head, the red drum, the flounder. You know, we got it all here. We got it all here. I've caught a lot of fish here. So that's what we're looking at. All right, so we'll continue on with it. And we're just out there, and you can see, oh man, what have I got here? A lizardfish. And I might say a very small lizardfish. He is barely bigger than the lure I was fishing with. So I went down that morning, and while I went there, you know, sunrise hadn't come up good. I went down to do some top water and was chunking out the old walking dog from Salt Strong. So, all right, let me go grab something else. I know the sun hadn't quite come up yet, but the fresh water, the top water just wasn't doing it. You know, I was getting good hits, but that's another story about why I wasn't getting hookups. So I think I probably tied on here. I probably got the power prawn from Salt Strong, which is a shrimp lure, if you call it that. So I'm chunking it out now. And just, you know, jigging it along, going up again. So at this time, we got an incoming tide. So it's from my left to my right. And so I'm trying to, you know, get it close as I can to that dock and let the current take it in a little bit. And then, and the current so strong so when you start jigging it stays right along that dock, you know, right along. So just out there, and I got a guy, it's over to the left of me. He's out there fishing. You may see him go down this dock here, and you know, he's over there fishing as well, seeing what he can get. But you know, we're just plan B. You know, what can we call it? It's plan B. That's what it is. So I'm just bumping this thing along, trying to ride that dock there without getting up in it. Now, when I'm fishing this power prawn, I've got it weedless, so I'm not too worried about it. But hey, you get your line wrapped around that barnacle, and it doesn't matter if you're weedless or not. So we're back out again. We're, you know, seeing what we can make happen. Plan B, right? So I'm bumping this thing, and you know, guys, I know the difference between, you know, when a lizardfish hits it and when a flounder hits it, or a trout or a red drum, and there you go. Now, I figure, hey, this is a flounder. You know, it's a little flounder. The way he hit it, but as you know, as he starts realizing he's hooked, he starts taking out drag, and it, you know, I realize then, hey, this is a nice fish. And you can look, I look over that way and I tell that guy, hey, this is a nice fish right here, man. This is a nice fish. And I get him, and as you can see to my left, we've got a little stairwell that goes down to the water. And on low tide, you can actually walk down it and walk that little bank there and fish. And I could have bought him up that, but I was afraid he would go in between and get hung up and, give me a hard time. So what I did was, as you can see, set the rod down, and I just hand lined this fat boy up. Nice 19-inch flounder. He was thick. He was thick, though. Might have said she was thick. It was a thick flounder. It really was. So, man, I'm just happy as all get out right now. So I'm gonna go back to the truck. I'm gonna get my bump board and my hog trough. I'm gonna get my lip grips and my pliers so I can get this guy unhooked. Now I was fishing this power prawn with a weighted hook, a Helix weighted hook, and it hooked perfectly right in the corner of that flounder's mouth. I mean, hooked perfectly. It took me a minute to get it out. It hooked so good, but one pop and that hook came right out. So popping that hook out now, and just happy as all get out. Now I wish this was a week ago, or a little better than a week ago. This guy had been going in the frying pan, but of course we're out of season now when I'm catching this one. First thing when I look at that guy earlier and I say, man, this is a nice one. First thing he says to me is fillet and release. Yeah, well, this guy owns a house right here. That's okay for you if you want to take that chance. I'm riding down this island with, they can tell what I'm doing, and the man can stop me at any time. There's no fillet and release, as far as I'm concerned. So I go back, I think I'm going back and try and get my phone. I told him, man, I got to take a picture of this, send to my buddy. I got to send this to my fishing buddy. And he said, well, hell, I'll take a picture for you. So I get the camera cranked up, and he comes over, takes my picture with it. Just a beautiful flounder, a beautiful specimen. And as you can see, I pick him up and get my picture taken. And one thing I actually realized it when I was doing it. I'm trying to help this guy out. He just bought a house down here. I'm trying to, hey man, go try here, try there. You surf fish much, where you go. And I really leave this flounder out of the water more than I should have. But the fight wasn't long. I knew the flounder was healthy. I knew an extra minute or two out of the water wasn't going to kill this guy. It wasn't. I had a good hook set, nowhere near the gills. He wasn't bleeding any at all. So I knew that this was a very healthy fish. If it had not have been, I wouldn't have, been wasting the fish's time, not really my time, and got him back in the water. But it wasn't a long fight, So I felt all right about, as long as it took me to get him back in the water. So I think I go back. I think I take my phone out and I take another picture of him on the bump board. Just another picture to have. That's memories we'll have of the great fish we've caught. And this was it was a good fish, man. It was a fat flatty. It was a good fish. So, and I'm, I think he's talking about, he's wanting to get a kayak, and I'm telling him, hey, dude, you're in the perfect area. You just go right out here. You go north, whoop, you sweep it south down that marsh line, those creeks, Kings Creek, Queens Creek, and you'll be dead on, dude. You'll enjoy it. But yeah, and like I say, this flounder the whole time, he's laying on the dock right there. He's laying there and saying, come on, man, I got to get back in the water. So, we go back over, we pick him up. This guy, humongous teeth now. Flounder have teeth. This guy had some very large teeth. And I was looking at that, and of course I told you I was taking a picture of him laying on the bump board to send my buddy, make him jealous a little bit. But I pick him up, we travel downstairs, and I lay him in the water. Now, I lay him right on top of where the first step coming up is, and he just lays down right there. I'm like, God, don't worry me like that. Are you okay? And he just lays there. He's resting. He's getting his mess together. And, of course, I go back up, get my bump board, take it back down, wash it off. But let me tell you, and when I go down there and I'm washing my bump board off, he doesn't move. I kind of touch him a little bit. He doesn't move. When he does move is when I come back and I've got my rod and my reel and I cast over to the left. And that shadow, that quick movement scared him, started him. He took off like a bullet. Now, you don't think a flounder can swim fast? Psh, they are very fast. Man, he darted, man, he went toward that dock there on the left and was gone, man, and was gone. I was glad to see him healthy and doing his thing. So guys, that's what I got. We're dash cam fishing, man. We're dash cam fishing. I had the GoPro in the truck, and I was just fishing, man. I was just fishing, but I always have my dash cam rolling. I do thank you guys so much for joining me. You guys take care and take care of each other. And remember, always have a plan B. It may pay off sometimes. All right, guys, I will definitely catch you guys on the next one.